The banker stopped breathing. Not metaphorically. Not politely. He actually froze, fingers hovering above the keyboard, eyes draining of color, as if someone had reached inside him and turned a dial. "Sir," he whispered, then louder, too loud for a place built on silence. "Sir, quickly. Look at this." I leaned forward. The chair creaked. Every sound felt amplified, exposed. I expected another humiliation, another confirmation that I was exactly what my wife had declared me in court obsolete. Instead, the screen reflected in his glasses went white. Rows of numbers. Too many zeros to process. My pulse didn't race. It slowed. I thought of the plastic card in my hand, the old one, the one my mother had pressed into my palm years ago, her grip trembling, her voice steady in that way only dying people manage. "For emergencies," she had said. "For when you finally see who they are." The banker swallowed. "Sir, this isn't dormant. It's active. Extremely active." I nodded once. Inside, something ancient stretched awake. My phone vibrated in my pocket. I didn't check it. I already knew who it would be. 3 weeks earlier, my wife, newly minted lawyer, freshly sharpened smile, had filed for divorce. No warning. No discussion. Just paperwork and locks changed. She took the house. The accounts. The narrative. I was given 2 suitcases and a week to disappear. The phone vibrated again. "This time," I answered. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," my daughter-in-law shouted, not bothering to hide the laughter behind her words. "Come wash the dishes." I looked at the banker. At the screen. At the numbers that rewrote history. "Enjoy," I said softly, and hung up. Betrayal doesn't announce itself. It seeps. It lives in small corrections, casual revisions of shared memory. My wife had begun rewriting us long before the papers arrived. She stopped saying we, started saying I. Her study sessions stretched longer. Her phone face down. Her laughter returned, but never with me. I told myself it was law school. Pressure. Ambition. I believed in patience. I believed in sacrifice. That was my first mistake. The second was trusting that love, once proven, remained valid forever. The night she graduated, she didn't look at me when they called her name. Her applause came from somewhere else. Someone else. A week later, the divorce filing arrived with surgical precision. Grounds: irreconcilable differences. Translation: I had outlived my usefulness. She didn't cry. Didn't explain. Didn't negotiate. She already had a new apartment. New accounts. New friends who nodded along when she said words like emotional labor and dead weight. I slept in my car that first night. And that's when the small memories began aligning into something sharper. The unexplained transfers. The new suits she couldn't afford until suddenly she could. The way her professor's name appeared too often in conversation, always followed by a pause. I didn't confront her. I observed. There's a difference. I learned to move quietly. I requested phone records through an old corporate contact who owed me a favor. I sat in public libraries, blending into the background, pulling threads without tugging too hard. Patterns emerged. Late-night calls. Weekend study groups that never overlapped with exam schedules. A secondary email account she forgot to secure. The messages were clinical. Efficient. Affection stripped of romance, replaced with strategy. Once the divorce finalizes, he won't contest it, he doesn't know. After Thanksgiving, everything will be clean. Thanksgiving. I smiled at that. I had built my career designing systems that failed quietly until the moment they didn't. I understood leverage. I understood timing. I also understood that rage, when indulged too early, ruins everything. So I waited. I let my daughter-in-law believe I was broken. I let my ex-wife believe I was ashamed. I let her professor her lover believe he had won a prize. Meanwhile, I visited a private clinic under a false name. I didn't need a DNA test. I needed confirmation of something colder. The forensic accountant's report arrived 3 days later. My wife had siphoned funds during our marriage. Small amounts, hidden behind tuition payments and shell accounts. She hadn't just left me. She had robbed me, and she thought I had nothing left. That was her third mistake. The banker printed the statement without being asked. "Sir," he said again, voice shaking now, "this account traces back decades. Offshore trusts, Swiss holdings, property deeds." I flipped through the pages. My mother had never been a nurse. She had been a custodian, a silent partner in an old European firm that specialized in discretion. When my father died, she took his secrets and buried them under humility, and left me the key. I didn't confront my ex-wife in person. I sent an email. Attached, the forensic report, the transaction logs, the proof of embezzlement. CC'd her firm's compliance department. One sentence in the body, "I already knew. I just needed you to finish." Her reply arrived in 4 minutes. Then 12 missed calls. Then silence. Across the ocean, I stood on the balcony of my newly reclaimed villa in Switzerland, watching the lake hold the mountains like a secret it would never tell. I took a photo, sent it to my daughter-in-law. The phone rang. Once, twice, 10 times, 71 by the end of the hour. Voicemails stacked like confessions. Apologies layered with panic. Demands disguised as concern. My ex-wife's message came last. Her voice was unrecognizable, broken, rushed, stripped of language she once weaponized so well. "They're investigating," she whispered. "You didn't have to do this. We could talk." I played it once, then deleted it. I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to gloat. I had already won by refusing to participate. The professor resigned quietly. The firm cut ties loudly. The narrative flipped, not because I argued, but because I documented. Cold truth travels faster than rage. Thanksgiving came and went. I ordered dinner on the terrace. Ate alone. Watched the sun disappear behind money that had never needed permission to exist. Betrayal teaches you something simple. People don't change when they gain power. They reveal themselves. I don't hate my ex-wife. Hate requires proximity. I don't miss my family. Memory requires warmth. What I feel now is distance. The clean kind. The kind my mother understood when she pressed that card into my hand and told me to wait. I didn't get revenge. I reclaimed authorship. And when the phone finally stopped ringing, the silence felt earned. Some losses are expensive. Some are profitable. This one paid in full.